Welcome, race fans, to Redline TV's. We're going to bring you flag-to-flag coverage here of today's 60-plus racing league from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, or is known as Mosport. Welcome into the booth with me. I've got my good friend Charles Smith. Welcome, Charles.
Glad to be here, ready for some good racing.
Yep, today we have the Dallara DW12 IndyCar facing off against the Pro Mazda in a class situation here, so we will have two different winners coming from today's race due to the class racing here on this road course. Let's take a look at the venue here real quick. This is a track that's in Canada. It is 2.430 miles in length, and it has a number of 10 turns. This is a very grueling racetrack, and I think that the guys in the Indy cars today most definitely will have some challenges along their way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's take a look at the weather for today's race. Air temperature is 78 degrees, track temperature 88, and it's mostly cloudy, so very good day for some racing here at Canadian Tire. 22 laps that the guys will be taking at this 2.4 mile racetrack today, so 22 laps around here is going to be very fun to watch these guys in the Indy cars and Pro Mazdas. Getting ready to get you set here for the starting grid, and while we wait, we're going to step away real quick and play the invocation.
Almighty God, please bless the preparation and performance of these racers today, believers and non-believers alike. Allow the spirit of friendship to overcome the spirit of conflict and anger. May all participants feel your presence and the joy of competition and mastery. Thank you for this opportunity, and may all continue in good health. In the power of your name, amen.
All right, folks, we're back, and we're going to get your gridding process underway here and show you where everybody's starting at today here for Canadian Tire. Starting on the pole position overall, and the pole position for the Indy cars is Donald Strout with a qualifying time of 1:02.495. So congratulations to Donald for grabbing the pole position. Steven Kartner will start second. Starting in third will be Bruce Poole, and rounding out the field in the Indy cars today, very short field for them in fourth will be John Morgan. Charles?
All right, in the Pro Mazda, starting on pole, we have Scott Dick. Starting second is Joel Martin. Starting third is Kenneth Baldwin. Starting fourth is Richard Colombi. Starting fifth is Remigio Di Pasqua. Starting sixth is Jim Oliver. Gianni Rispato will be starting seventh. Michael Key will be starting eighth. And rounding out the field will be Jose Carlos Campadonico.
All right, so 4 Indy cars and 9 Pro Mazdas. So interesting field that we'll have here for you guys today. So we'll get here on the pole position here of Donald Strout, and we'll wait these guys to take their pace lap around the track. One thing I noticed here, Charles, one driver that I'm not seeing today is Joost van de Ven.
Yeah, I think I remember him saying something last week about vacation or something.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that. Okay, well, we know that one of the, points guys high up in the points here, I believe he is the points leader, I'm not too sure, but he's absent today, so that's possibly going to hurt him in the points chase here for 60 Plus Racing League.
Yeah, I think you are right. I think he is the points leader. I'm not sure. I didn't check after last week, but before last week's race, he was the points leader, I do believe.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, these guys are almost back around the start-finish line here, and we'll see them take the green flag today around this 2.4-mile course for 22 laps.
And once again, we'll see if, obviously I think we know by now that these Indy cars will have lap traffic in this race.
Oh, yes.
They have been. And this is a lot tighter course too, so it might be a lot more tough this track than any race we've been.
Exactly. I think it's going to be green. There's a green flag. We are underway here at Mosport, and a good lead out here for Donald Strout so far in the Indy cars. But what Charles was talking about there, folks, I think what's going to happen here is he said this track is a little bit tight and a little bit narrow. I think it might pose a threat to the Indy cars a little bit, as fast as we know these cars can get up to an amount of speed. But now for the Pro Mazdas, as they are smaller and don't have that big of an engine and go a little bit slower, this might be a perfect track for them. And we're looking back here at the lead pack here of the Pro Mazdas. Leader Scott Dick. He's got Joel Martin right behind him. Now we remember that race we saw last week, folks, at Daytona with the Pro Mazdas, Joel Martin and Remigio De Pasqua. That was an amazing race to the finish by those two. And possibly, I think, Joel Martin's a very talented race car driver in these Pro Mazdas. I think we might see him bring a challenge today to Scott Dick. But Scott Dick is a very fast race car driver as well. And we might see a different turn of events here. And he's starting to pull away here from Joel Martin. But we do have the Domino's car back here behind Joel Martin. I believe that is Kenneth Baldwin. Yes, it is. Kenneth Baldwin currently running third here in the Pro Mazdas. But you can technically see these Pro Mazdas have started to kind of get in a single file line here, and they've kind of got some distance in between one another here. So we'll see if this race can pick up here any as we go back up front here to the IndyCar class. And Donald Strout, your race leader, and he's now within just one lap, is 1.5 seconds, well now 1.2 seconds there above ahead of Stephen Cartner there in second place.
Oh, and Joe Martin's off the track.
Uh-oh, this ain't good. Looks like he got it back going though, but he will lose a couple positions here. It looks like he will fall to the back of the pack, sadly.
He just lost it on his own, went too far out and got in the grass. Didn't hit anything though.
Yeah, we can tell this is going to be a pretty fast race today compared to these Indy cars, because they've already knocked 2 laps off, and we haven't even been in this race very long. Let's go back up front here on the Pro Mazda class, Scott Dick. Let's ride along with him here in the cockpit view. Just kind of give you a glimpse of what the drivers are seeing here in the Pro Mazda class out there. Helmet visors today. Can't say windshield because these cars are open cockpit. And that corner right there that Scott Dick just took, that's the hardest corner, I believe, on this whole entire racetrack. But it has... what's what I'm looking for? I guess has produced or given the production of some very good passing and some very good racing as well as being the hardest part of the track. Now we'll give you a ride-along view of an IndyCar around here with Bruce Poole.
Looks like Joe Martin's around again.
Oh no, let's go take a look at this. Yeah, he's on pit road now. We'll rewind it here and take a look. Let's see what happened.
What happened. Let's see. Another car spit out in front of him.
Oh no. Yep, that was Gianni Rospato. Oh no, and he hit him. Ah, tough break here for these two. The toughest break for Joel Martin because he had such a strong start to this race.
Oh, almost had an incident with the IndyCar and the first lap down car, Pro Mazda. They come out of the first corner. They almost collide. Oh, we have a car upside down in Pro Mazda.
Uh-oh.
Let's see who that was.
I believe that might have been Gianni Rospato.
Yes, it was. It was indeed him. Yeah, he just overshot the corner and slammed into the wall.
Let's ride along here with Gianni and take a look and see what happened. Oh, he did get off into the grass there a little bit. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, and he flipped. Ooh, hit the wall, yeah. So now he's set.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so now he's sitting on pit road as well. What was you going to say about Donald Strout?
Yeah, he's got some company. Steve Karkner's right behind him.
Yes, he is. Let's ride on board here with Steven Karkner. As you can see out there, I'm going to say windshield again. And these are open wheel cars. As we see out of his view here, I should say, they are closing in on the back here again of some Pro Mazda cars here. So, wow, it didn't take them long at all, Charles, to catch up in the back of this Pro Mazda group.
No, not at all.
Wow, they're passing for the lead here in the Indy cars here as you got Steven Karkner taking the lead here over Donald Strout. And what did I say? They're in that very hard, treacherous corner. And right before they got to it, Steven Karkner passed Donald Strout. So that section of the track always poses great passing zones and great racing. And now the leaders of the Indy cars are coming up on the leader of the Pro Mazda. That is Scott Dick there. So now they've got the whole entire Pro Mazda field one lap down. That's just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
We're right on board again here with Steven Karkner. Just to kind of show you how fast the guys in the Indy cars are taking the corners here at Mosport today. And I am just mesmerized at the sheer attrition these guys are just giving up in these cars. I thought they might have been a little bit slower than this and had to, back off on some of these corners a little more than what they are not doing. I mean, they're just taking these corners just flat out almost in some instances. Around. Oh, he saved it, but Donald Strout won't get around him. Let's go back and take a look at that. Ooh, he went over the grass there. He slowed up. Donald Strout will take control of that and get back in the lead. But Steven's not going to give up that easy with coming to 14 to go here. He's going to try his best with the 14 laps remaining to try to get back around Donald Strout.
Looks like Michael Key has blown his engine.
Oh no, let's take a look.
Oh, he hit the curb and it just went. Engine just went.
Ooh, let's go back and take a look at this. All right, we're on board here with Michael Key in the Napa Auto Parts Pro Mazda. Oh, yeah, he was just going up the hill there and engine popped. Wow. Something amiss there. He is coming to pit road here now, so he was able to drive the car back to pit lane. He didn't have to tow the car, so that will save a little bit of time here. Now, I believe these guys do have a quick fix or multiple ones, so we'll see if he can use that quick fix and get back out on the track and continue his race.
Well, it says they have one.
They have one, okay. All right, back up here live now with the IndyCar. Donald Strout is still leading after we see Stephen Kartner there a few laps ago lose it there in the very tough corner. And Donald Strout was able to regain on him going down the back straightaway there as they come off that corner. But as I said, Stephen Kartner's not going to give up that easy, and he sure isn't because he's closing right back in on him here, and it's giving him a hard battle.
Richard Colombi has just spun around.
Oh no, looks like we got a lot. Oh no, Stephen Kartner just spun around, hit the wall, and he tore the whole entire front end off his IndyCar.
Oh man.
And he was having such a great run. Let's go back and take a look at Stephen Kartner here. Oh yeah, he kind of hit, I think he kind of hit the gas a little too early there. He clipped the rumble strip, and when the power went to the rear wheels, he was on the rumble strip, it spun his tire, around he went. So, tough break there for Stephen Kartner. Is having such a great run. Now he's on pit road with this incident here. It will move Bruce Poole into second place here in the IndyCars, but Bruce has a lot of work to do as he is about a second behind of Donald Strout here, and he's got to regain this. But we've got John Morgan, who's running third in the IndyCars, and he's about 10 seconds back. So
Morgan's up to second now.
Yes, I see that. Yep, John Morgan made the pass there on Bruce Poole, so we know these two are battling back here. But they are 10 seconds behind Donald Strout, sadly, so they got a lot of work to do to try to catch up to the leader. But we see the great battle between Donald Strout and Stephen Kartner, but sadly Stephen just had a misfortune that took his car out of this race. I think he's still sitting on pit road at the moment. He might be back out on track. Let's take a look here.
He's just now pulling back out.
Yes, he is. So this is great to see that he's able to use his quick repair and get back out here on track. But I believe he is one lap down, so he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to try to catch back up to this field. But there are no cautions on the road courses, I sadly don't see that possible.
No, it'd take a miracle.
Yeah. All right, let's go check back in on the leader in the Pro Mazdas, Scott Dick. He has absolutely no competition around him right now. He is just out here by himself taking it for a Sunday drive here, and it's a Wednesday afternoon. So
and Bruce Poole is taking second back away from Morgan.
Yeah, let's go take a look at this battle here. These guys are just battling it out hard. So, and I'm hearing some crashing on the racetrack. I heard some metal crunching there somewhere. I didn't catch who it was or where it was, but somebody hitting somebody or something.
Jose Carlos Campadonico, I do believe.
Uh-oh. Well, let's go take a look here at Jose. Yep. Ooh, he's got heavy damage here. Ooh. He's on the back straightaway here. Ouch. Coming up the hill, man. That car is just limping. let's go back and kind of take a look and see what happened to Jose Carlos Capodonico. Okay, he was coming out of the really bad intersection here, the really tough corner, and I can see he already had damage on his race car. Oh, so this happened before this. Let's try to rewind this back a little bit more and see if we can see what actually happened here. Okay, right here his car looks clean, so we'll right along right here and see what happened. Oh, he hit a bump right there in the track, and it just sent him to the left, and he hit the wall. Ouch. Yeah, so the second wreck there on the backstretch was just the cause of him wrecking the first time. Ouch. Yeah, that sucks. So troubles for Jose Carlos Capodonico, and we're back live here, and we see he is trying his best to limp his poor beaten-up race car back to pit road here and try to use that quick fix and get back out in competition. Oh, wow, he just hit the rumble strip and he got airborne. Wow, he's having trouble getting back to pit lane here as well.
Yeah, he is. I've seen that. He's struggling big time.
He finally makes it, though, so that's great to see. Hopefully you can use that quick fix and get back out on the racetrack. Let's go back up to the race leader here overall, and in the IndyCars, Donald Strout. As I said earlier, he is 10 seconds ahead of the race leaders here, but we are going to step away real quick, folks, coming to 8 laps to go here and take a quick break. So we'll take a look at your overall top 5 here as we do so. Alright folks, we're back here with 60 Plus Racing League here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, or as we call it, Mosport, here for their race today with the class divisions here of the DW12 IndyCar and the Pro Mazda. Current race leader for the IndyCars is Donald Strout, and the current race leader in the Pro Mazdas is Scott Dick. We've got 7 laps of racing remaining here today at Mosport, but Donald Strout is coming around to make it 6 laps to go. Charles, I think this has been their quickest race so far this season.
Oh yeah, these IndyCars are just freaking flying around here.
Yes, they are. And Donald Strout right now has absolutely no competition out on the racetrack. He's just out there all by himself out for a Sunday drive, and the same goes for Scott Dick as well in the Pro Mazdas. Donald Strout right now has a 11-second lead over second place Bruce Poole. So that's just an amazing feat there for those guys. But it wouldn't have been that way if Steven Kartner wouldn't have had his troubles today. I think he would have still been up there battling it out with Donald Strout for the lead. We did see John Morgan, though, however, battling with Bruce Poole there in the IndyCars. Let's go take a look here at John Morgan. He has now slipped to 2 seconds behind Bruce Poole. So it looks like a little bit of trouble there also for John Morgan as he's racing with Bruce Poole here. John Morgan in the Valvoline car. It was a very, very small field today for the IndyCars here at Mosport. Only 4 drivers started in the IndyCar field, but we have 9 in the Pro Mazdas. I know it looks like a few of the drivers that would normally run IndyCars are not present today, one of them being points leader Joost van de Ven. So that's going to put a very tight lean on the points here, and that's also going to allow Donald Strout or whoever is in second place to give a little bit of closure up on there to Joost van de Ven's lead and possibly take a run for the championship here. But we see now that John Morgan has caught back up to Bruce Poole here in the IndyCars to get the race going for position here.
There's also a good battle for 8th in the Pro Mazda right now between Richard Colombi and Joe Martin. Although, just as I say that, Richard Colombi started to pull away a bit.
Yep. Still is a good battle, though, although that he did start pulling away. But Joel Martin, I think, isn't going to give up. He's going to try to go for that position. Every point counts in a points battle. Let's check out here with Remigio De Pasqua. We seen Remigio and Joel Martin have a great battle last week at Daytona in the Pro Mazda class, but it looks like Remigio's day just... He's right now currently running in second, but you see Scott Dick nowhere near him, so the Daytona battle, sadly, isn't happening today here at Mosport.
Well, no, it's not going to happen at this track.
But I do see one interesting thing is that Remigio De Pasqua has some company coming up behind him here, and it is the IndyCar leaders of Donald Strout here, as he's starting to gain on him here as well. So, man, Donald's just on a roll out here today, Charles. He's already put this field 2 laps down.
Same can be said for Scott Dick. He's just dominating the Pro Mazda right now.
Yes, he is. And he's been out front in the Pro Mazdas all day. There hasn't been a different leader. But the IndyCars have seen a different leader. But that didn't last very long, I don't think. No, it didn't, because Stephen Cartner only was able to get 1 lap. Donald Strout has led the rest.
Yeah, I do believe Scott Dick has actually lapped, possibly lapped the entire Pro Mazda field.
Wow. That's very intriguing to see that. Let's go back here and take a look at a driver we haven't talked much about today. That is Jim Oliver here in the Pro Mazda series. We see Jim Oliver is running 7th overall, 3rd in the Pro Mazda category. All right, folks, we'll go back up here real quick and take a look back at your IndyCar leader, Donald Strout, as we have just 2 laps remaining, and this time by, he's coming to take the white flag for the race today here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. Let's ride along here in the cockpit view of Donald Strout as he's coming around the final 2 corners here to take the white flag. All right, folks, Donald Strout is coming back down the back straight away here, coming into the final 2 corners. and he will be your winner today here at Mosport. Yep, there he comes, taking the checkered flag here. Congratulations to Donald Strout here today for 60 plus, taking the win in the IndyCar class at Mosport. We'll go back now and take a look here at your Pro Mazda leader, Scott Dick, as he now comes across the start-finish line. Scott Dick, your winner in Pro Mazda. All right, we'll give these guys a few minutes to kind of settle down here and get their wins intact here, and we'll get down and have a word with them momentarily. Man, just what an amazing race today there, Charles, just to see the pure dominance between these two drivers in each class.
Yep, definitely a dominating show by both Donald Strout and Scott Dick.
In the pits and back to last, and I feel real good about finishing fourth.
Yeah, it was a 13.8 was my best.
That's good. Best I've ever gone is 13.7, but I haven't done it with this setup.
Broadcast.
I did a 12.2 about 2 weeks ago with a different setup here.
Yeah, I saw guys in the official races were down in the 12s.
Donald Strout, you got a copy.
How are you doing?
Oh, well, my mic would come. I'm doing great. How are you doing today? Tell us about that amazing race you had out there today. Just dominating performance by you in the number 8 machine here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We've seen you had a great battle there with Stephen Kartner, but sadly he had a...
I actually think Steve had more speed than I did here. He just had a little bit of the trying too hard in the Moss turn there, I think. Otherwise, he had me pretty much everywhere with a little bit of extra speed, so he was doing very well. Just unfortunately, he lost control there. He recovered first on the one time, and then the second time, I don't think he did. So I feel bad for Steven because he really had the fastest car here today, I think.
Exactly. The Indy cars just showed they had the raw power here today at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, and you guys had a great race. Seen that you guys caught up to the Pro Mazda packs there multiple times and put those guys a couple laps down. But kind of tell us, with the way the race went for you today, what did you expect starting on the pole position as well?
Well, I knew Steve would be very fast, so I expected him to come right and stay with me for the first few laps with cold tires, which he did. And I wasn't quite sure how John Morgan would do because everybody was qualifying pretty close to the same times. So basically, Steve and I pulled away for some reason, and then he passed me, and I figured, well, okay, this is going to be tough. But then he made a couple of mistakes, and I just stepped back and tried to not make any mistakes, and that's sometimes the best course of action here.
Exactly. You didn't make a single one, and that's what got you to victory lane today, Donald. Well, congratulations on your win and victory today here in the IndyCar class. Who do you want to give thanks or shout to before you go celebrate?
Well, I give thanks to God always, and also thanks to all the participants. Basically, they do a great job, and I hope they enjoy it, and I get great pleasure out of providing a service to them, and hopefully whoever watches it. So I appreciate all their participation and their great driving.
Exactly. All right, Donald. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you next week there in Sebring.
That should be fun.
All right, Bruce Poole, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I hear you, Jeff.
Hey, man, tell us about the run you had out there today. We know you started, I think it was third place there in the IndyCar class. You kind of raced there with John Morgan for most part of the day, but you was able to get up to second due to Stephen Kartner's issues there. But kind of tell us your thoughts on the race and how you think about finishing in second place.
Oh, I'm real happy to finish in second. I didn't have anything for Donald or Stephen. They were sort of out by themselves, and I was worried about fuel. Excuse me. And John was with me most of the time, so it was a tough race for me.
Exactly, especially, being the tight track that this is and the numerous amounts of tight corners that it has. What did you think when you was catching up to the Pro Mazda classes today and knowing that this track is so tight, what did you think about how taking on the cars from the Pro Mazda class?
We came up on those cars so quickly, and it was sometimes a little touch and go, but everybody was A1. Like they positioned themselves on the track and made it easy for us faster guys to get through. It was no problem that way, except sometimes you'd catch them in a bad spot.
Exactly, yeah, but you guys just showed that, you guys know how to drive around these road course cars in just a sheer fashion that I've, haven't seen in a very long time. So, just the kudos to you guys on, your amazing races and, what you guys, can do with, different classes being out there and with the different, engine types and everything like that. But, well, congratulations on your second place finish today here at Canadian Tire. Would you like to give thanks or shout out to anybody before you go celebrate?
As most, I'd like to thank Donald and you guys. Like it just makes the racing a little bit more exciting, and all the guys that we're racing with here, a great bunch of guys.
All right, Bruce, congratulations, and we'll catch you next week. All right, John Morgan, do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, John, that was some great racing out there between you and Bruce Poole today. Kind of give us a rundown on how you felt the racing was out there and your thoughts on your finish of third place.
Well, I mean, Bruce and I had a great race. We had very similar pace, and it was just a matter of sort of who got lucky when and as to who was where. But it was a lot of fun, and the Star Mazda guys did a great job in sort of making the race for the faster cars a little easier. Really didn't have any issues at all, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a good group to race with.
It most definitely is. Give us your, viewpoint on, the racing today compared to your car and the Pro Mazda, and from what Bruce has said, what your thoughts were when you caught those other slower cars.
They just did a really good job of maintaining their line, which is really all you can ask. If they just maintain a consistent line, it gives you the ability to pick where you're going to go around them. And everybody that we came up on today did a really good job. This is a very fast circuit, and the closing speed is pretty dramatic. But it worked out real well. I was surprised. It made it a lot of fun. I think if it had just been me trying to catch Bruce for 22 laps, I don't know if it would have been as much fun.
Exactly. Well, John, do you have anybody that you'd like to give thanks a shout to before you go celebrate your third place finish today here at Canadian Tire?
Absolutely. I want to thank Donald for putting this series on, because this is probably the most fun league that I race in. And then I certainly want to thank everybody who comes out and races. It's a great group of guys, a lot of respect for each other, and it's just about the most fun you can have.
Exactly. All right. Well, congratulations on your finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Scott Dick, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, I'm doing great. Well, tell us about your dominating performance out here today, and congratulations on winning in your class in the Pro Mazda. So kind of give us a rundown of how you felt the race went today, and you kind of had the same, issue that Donald Strout had. Donald was just out in front for the most part of the time, and when the incidents happened there, he got about 11-second lead there over Bruce Poole to finish the race, and you didn't have hardly any cars behind you giving you any battles either. So kind of tell us about your dominating performance out there today at Mosport.
Well, at the start, I was really kind of concerned with Joel and Kenneth, because I knew they were going to be real close to me, and they hung right with me for the first few laps, and I looked in my rearview mirror going through Moss, and all of a sudden I think it was either Joel that spun first, and then unfortunately a couple of laps later I think Kenneth did, and he kind of messed up his car and then had to retire. But it was a lot of fun. I thought I was going to have some fun with Joel, but it worked out to my favor, and that $1 million prize, I figured I'd at least get some of it with them, so I'll take them to the McDonald's or their choices if they choose.
I hear that. All right. Well, kind of tell us what you thought today compared to what the IndyCar drivers have said when they were coming up on you. What did you think when you saw one of the IndyCars come up in your rearview mirror?
Well, it was like I was driving a Volkswagen. I'm thinking, oh, my God, these guys, and I'm watching the clock tick back 4, 3, 2, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, here they come. And so I thought I was in slow motion, and maybe I thought my frame rate was going down for a little while. They were passing me so quick. But I have to say I did have a little bit of advantage over my competitors because we came out here testing about 3 weeks ago and did about 500 laps. So I wasn't going to tell my secret, but we did have about 500 laps a few weeks ago, and I think that certainly made a difference in the outcome today. However, the track was pretty slippery. The setup we had, we were doing a tire test, and the other tires were a little grippier, but it seemed to be okay. Those little landmines down at the bottom of the hill did catch me off one time, and I said, oh boy, if I throw it away here now, I'm not going to be happy with myself. So it certainly worked out to my benefit.
Yes, it sure did, and that's amazing. You putting in the time and dedication of the 500 laps to get you a win today here at Mosport. Well, congratulations on your win today, Scott. Do you have anybody you'd like to give thanks or shout to before you go celebrate?
Sure. Thanks to you, Jeff, and to Donald and all the rest of the guys for coming out. And it was a lot of fun. And I have to thank my dogs for not bugging me, so that way I couldn't race. So I better go and let them out or they're going to kill me. But thanks again, and look forward to racing next week with you guys. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I can be here, and thanks for having me.
Exactly. All right, Scott. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Take care now.
All right, let's run down through the results here, Charles, and we'll close this one out. All right, coming home with the win here in the IndyCar class is Donald Strout. So congratulations to Donald for getting the win today here in the IndyCar class at Mosport. Bruce Poole will come home in second. John Morgan will come home in third. And sadly, Stephen Kartner will come home in fourth due to a crash that occurred there while he was racing with Donald Strout. He just he hit the rumble strip there a little bit, and he kind of clipped his wheel there when he got back on the gas, and it just didn't like the way the power was to the rear wheels on that rumble strip, and it just sent him around. So he'll finish fourth today and last car in the field out of the Indy cars. Charles? All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in today here on Redline TV for the 60 Plus Racing League here with their Indy cars and Pro Mazdas today here in at Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So until next week, folks, we'll be back here with the 60 Plus Racing League. And I believe they're at Sebring International Racing Circuit in Florida next week. So we'll catch you guys then.